good day, good evening, and welcome to this little video about the loop modes in Toybox Audio's new synth Buzz Zone. And the loop modes are not something I've seen in synthesizers before. I'm sure they exist in some form or another, but this is, I want to say, another level. But let's not reference 90s boy bands so quickly. But this is we start with the default patch. Let's look at these loop modes, what we've got up here. These are the loop modes we'll be looking at. And they all behave a little bit differently. Some of them markedly different from others. We'll get to them when we get to them. First of all, let's just look at the basic principles of how these breakpoint envelopes function within Buzz Zone. So we've got the pitch envelope here. We can stay here because we all know what pitch modulation sounds like. That's what that sounds like. So let's do a funny little shape in here. Oh no, actually, I'm going to do a simple shape, which is basically moving up a fifth. So let's do this. One thing I should say as well, that the last breakpoint the last node in every breakpoint envelope is the final position. If the envelope isn't in a looping mode, then that's the final position of the modulation. So I want to go to a fifth. Sounds a bit sharp. Let's just put it down a bit. There we go. So we've got a fifth modulation going on there, fifth of a jump, so we can clearly hear what's going on. So we speed this up. That's what we'd expect there. We slow it down. Takes longer to get to that breakpoint, but we get there and we move up to the fifth. Now, what happens if we turn the looping on? Right, one thing I'm going to say as well is that we have this snapping mechanism that I'm going to show you. When you hold shift down and you move a breakpoint envelope, it snaps to these vertical breakpoints, these snapping vertical snap points, of which there are 16. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16. There we are. They're all there. And these allow you to, kind of use 16ths or 8ths or quarters or whatever breakpoint positions to make looping and tempo synced looping more musical, let's say, more musical. Oh, I think I adjusted that. There we go. Okay, so that's a nice fifth there. That's a nice fifth. So we've got looping on now, so this is going to go on forever. Let me just make sure that level's on full. Yes, it is. So what happens if we speed it up? This is the little important bit here. So let's speed this up to, let's change it up to 4, say. What happens if we put it up to 4? All right. So that envelope's moving 4 times as fast as the rate dictated by the speed. So if this speed is currently set to, 2 seconds, then we're going to get 4 cycles of these in that 2 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's 2 seconds. 1, 2. And we've got that cycling 4 times around. And we can go the opposite direction and divide it by decimal factors. It's going to take a while to get there. But you can hear what's going on there. And this is obviously applicable to all the breakpoint envelopes here. So let's just do something on the position. I'm going to hold snap down while I move these around. So I'm going to add another breakpoint there, holding snap, holding shift to get the snap positions. I'm just going to add a few extra little breakpoints here, move that up there. Maybe that's fun up there. Maybe this one's good down here. Actually, I'm going to put it there. So at the moment, it's not moving kind of linearly. It's moving exponentially. Starts fast and slows down. So let's turn the looping on. let's put this back to normal. I'm going to slow this down so we've got that cycling. And let's maybe add a bit of FM, because everyone loves a bit of FM. Let's snap that to... Let's maybe go for another wavetable here. Let's just stick an FM one in. And you can hear that, yeah, also all of these envelopes now are running at a different rate. I know, we could, let's change the FM one to twice. I think that demonstrates, oh, that's nice, isn't it? That demonstrates that kind of looping feature quite nicely. And of course, at the moment, in this off mode, forgive me, the speed of all these envelopes is dictated by the speed knob. And obviously the release works as you'd expect. So what other modes have we got up here? Free. So this is not MIDI linked in terms of the key presses. So currently, as you can see, I mean, it's free running, but if we just press a note, if I press a few notes, you can hear that all those modulations are happening at the same time for all the notes. I press 3 notes down after each other, and all the modulations are running together. So free running basically means all the multi-breakpoint envelopes are linked by the speed knob here. Obviously they're all running at the same time, but MIDI notes don't restart the envelopes, so they're kind of free running. Ooh, a little bit of CP issues there. So let's carry on going, because I think you understand that one. This is just totally free running. Let's do Retrigger. Now this is synced to tempo. So currently I've got tempo running at 140. And if so you can hear that each note again retriggers the envelopes. And I'm going to change the tempo from 140 to, I don't know, 90 or something. Let's go super low. And the speed of the breakpoints matches the tempo that we've got selected. So I'm going to put it back to 140 because it's a nice tempo. Nice. So this, again, speed knob won't make any difference now, because we're running a synced mode, which is what Retrigger is. Now locked is kind of like free, but it's locked to the tempo. So any notes I press, again, aren't going to re-trigger the envelopes. They're just going to keep running, and all the new notes will just kind of be modulated in step with all the modulators that are kind of in sync with the tempo. So I've got a little beat running here. This. So I'm pressing different notes here. You can hear. So all the kind of harmonic structure is all moving at the same time. Like this little bump in the, something. I could hear something. But this little off bit here, this little kind of little accent, little FM accent is happening always on the off beat where that snare is happening. I think you understand that now. So let's move on to the next mode, pitched mode. Now this is where things get a little bit, actually we're going to go to chaos first, because that is kind of in line with the other ones. So as you can see, this envelope, this little modulator, what's it called, travelator? The little thing that's indicating the position in the breakpoint is just moving around like a nutter. So I can press notes down, and it's just wobbling around with no clear intention, but that's what you get with chaos. It's completely unsynced, obviously, but the speed is dictated up here. So we can have fast chaos. Nice. Mad, isn't it? Speed it up really fast. I mean, obviously this can be heavily exploited with some crazy pitch envelopes and FM shapes and position modulations. But it's pretty nutty. I don't think I've ever seen a breakpoint envelope be managed by a chaotic LFO timer, which is what we're looking at here. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Great for ambient. Great for your unpredictable. And of course, you know, this chaos thing, we've got these envelopes running and they're all, again, multiplied or divided by the fact that we've got the offsets are all kind of linked. Obviously, it'd be terrible if it wasn't. It would be a bad machine. Ooh. Mad, isn't it? So that's the chaos mode. I think we're ready now for the pitch mode. This, as you've noticed so far, I've only been concentrating on the synth side of it. The sample side is another little beast of its in its own right. So we're going to get there eventually, fear not. But the pitch mode is pretty crazy. So this is basically timing the length of the envelope to the note that you're pressing in. So there's a lot of audio rate modulation going on here, a heck of a lot. So let's see what kind of changes, what have we got going on? This sounds like, I mean, it's moving through this really fast. Let's see if we can kind of hear it moving through it really fast. So if we slow it down to 32, you can hear the modulation, the journey this modulation breakpoint is describing through the wavetable. If we turn off the... So that's it. That's the wavetable modulation slowed down by 32 times. Let's put it back to 0, double click it back to 0. And we get some craziness. Now let's see how we can adjust this, because you'd be surprised. Let's start here. So now all these are running at audio rate. Ooh. This is the pitch envelope. Nothing to do with FM. We've got no FM going on here. But in a way, we are FMing the sound because we're frequency modulating it with this shape here. So it is being bent around pitch-wise. I mean, you can hear the pitch content changing. If we can kind of balance the energy, then we might find a kind of stable. There we go. Kind of stable. so many sweet spots. You've just got to move your nodes around. Ooh. Let's see what happens if we do some of this. So now we don't need these nodes now to be snapped to anything because we're running, as you can see, audio rate. I wonder what happens if we could double the rate of the position modifier. Let's hear it. Oh, beastly. Let's offset the position. It's hitting different parts of the wavetable. Not that we can identify which parts of the wavetable because it's running so damn fast. It's mad, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Because if we do add some FM, let's make the FM half the oscillation speed, half the key speed. So now we're only FMing the first half of the wave. Well, twice. We're FMing the waveform twice, halfway, once at the beginning and once and again halfway through. And again, you can do the same with the filter. All this is now frequency modulated, audio rate modulated, so we can do like crazy filter shapes, filter modulations. Of lovely instabilities. I mean, if we like just offset this a tiny little bit from the sort of main speed of everything, which is key tracked, obviously. Now this one's running at 1.2 the speed, so it's well glitchy. Let's push it up, see where the sweet spots are. Why would you be surprised that it's at times 2? You can hear that. There's like a rumbling, kind of sticky steps. Mad, isn't it? This kind of audio rate modulation you don't often see. A lot of synth manufacturers want to save CPU cycles, so they'll use cheaper methods to send these LFO signals to or any kind of modulation control signals to oscillators and things like that. But at Toybox Audio, we want full transparency. We're just going to exploit the CPU, give the user all the noises they need or could possibly want. So that if we increase the resonance, stick this in like a ladder or something. Get utter mayhem. Let's try and stabilize that a tiny bit. Good luck with that. Turn the resonance down. Oh, nice. Ooh. How totally excellently broken. One thing we can do as well is kind of a sort of a fake granularizing. So we can pull all this down. Turn the filter up. So now we've just got the filter running. Let's turn all this off. Let's clear that. So we've got no modulations going apart from the level. So let's, well, we haven't even got that, but let's do this. We've kind of turned the volume multi-breakpoint into a kind of grain. So, you know, making it quiet at the edges. Changing the shape of the waveform ultimately. You can change that. Let's make it twice. So it's 2 of these running for every key tracked wavetable cycle. Yeah. And we can change the shape. But let's we want to chop it up into 2 shapes. So now we're only FMing the second grain. These are both running at, run them both at 1. So now we're only FMing the second kind of grain. If we rock around with that, no change. As soon as we add a breakpoint here, we start messing with this grain of sound. I know it's unintuitive to talk about things in grains, but this is a volume envelope that's running at audio rate, so ultimately it is a very short grain of sound. But yeah, so that's that. I think that covers all the synth stuff. Let's just make sure that's loud again. And I'm going to move over to the the sample layer. Now let's load up some random synth sound. It's a sample. So the higher I play, the shorter it is. The lower I play, the longer it is. But what we can do with this is where the cool stuff happens, right? So we've got 3 knobs here, and each of these, again, like all of these, can have looping enabled. So if we enable loop on pitch, then now that's running at sample rate. But it's running so fast, can't really hear what's going on. So I'm going to turn on looping. And now we're just looping the file. Actually, didn't want to do that quite yet. Yeah. Did I want to do that? Yeah. Okay, so we're looping the file at key tracking. We're just playing back a little bit of the file, the first bit of the file, super fast. And we can change kind of that little bit of the waveform by speeding up the internal pitch of that little of the sample player. Because it doesn't really matter what pitch that's playing. It's the key tracking size of the little bit of sound that is imparting the pitch content, not this now. You can hear all it's doing is kind of tonal stuff. Now we can set up to offset that part of the which part of the waveform we're sort of focusing on, and I'm going to assign mod wheel to sample start. I'm just going to, this is brilliantly glitchy. Oh yeah, so you can hear me moving the mod wheel. So all the interesting stuff, because this is a synth sound that goes dow, all the interesting stuff's at the start of it. So I'm going to bring it back to somewhere like that. That's me wobbling the mod wheel. It's excellently glitchy. So there's that. It's excellently glitchy. This is the kind of thing that a larger company would not risk putting into their high quality product because it makes it sound bad. but we aren't scared. Oh yeah. Oh, lovely. So that's the cool bit of this little, one of the cool bits of this little sample side. That changes the tone. And we are restarting if I turn this off, what this little arrow here indicates is to restart the sample when the travelator, the kind of breakpoint position indicator goes back to restarts, basically passes through the 0 point going forwards, not backwards. So we turn that on and we've got the sample looping. And we can speed it up, make it super high, super low. That's me wobbling the mod wheel again. So that's something that you won't see in many synths either. And you can obviously stick it through the filter path as well. And use these as cycling breakpoints as well. So let's bring that down, turn it into like a resonant mode maybe. And we're basically changing the shape of each little bit of the sample that's being looped and played back at key tracked pitch. And you can hear what's going on. Let's put a few little spikes in here. There you go. Resonating filter, so we're getting some excellent squirts out of it. Ooh. Isn't this fun? So let's move to some of the other looping modes in this sample side. So let's I'm gonna just reset the patch now. So we've got, let's just choose a crazy noise. It's a bit too crazy. There we go. Nice. Gritty, dirty. So let's have a look at another way of doing this. Actually, I'm going to use we'll do this for the moment. So we've got the sample layer over here. We're going to leave the pitch. See, this is the thing. It's like when you've got this looping function going, you kind of need to work out which one of these, because there's only three ways to loop the sample. It's either the pitch envelope, the filter envelope, or the level envelope. So if I use the filter envelope to re-trigger the sample every time it passes through. So what I'm going to do now is, so right now, this little arrow pointing to the left here indicates that the sample's going to restart when the travelizer reaches 0. So it passes through. As you can see, it's like passing through and triggering the sound. We can speed it up because we're in a mode that's not kind of tracked to tempo or anything like that. And all the envelopes are triggered as the key notes. Nice. And you can go mental as well, obviously, because we always want that option. It's nice, isn't it? It's kind of like an arpeggio that hangs around. And this is where some of the power lies. So let's go. Now I'm going to use the pitch envelope. So we've got the filter envelope making the thing loop 4 times every length of time indicated by the speed parameter. So if I go to the pitch envelope now and I turn on looping, I don't need to enable this re-triggering thing because we've already got one of the envelopes doing that. So what am I going to do? What we can do is build like some notes. Let's build some notes. But I'm going to do it so that these notes change when the sound is different. If you see what I mean. So look, we'll do some stepping here. I'm not even going to listen to it. Let's just see what craziness happens. I'm going to pull that down there. Hold the snap down to make sure I remain in line with everything. Let's pull that down there. Right on the snap line. That's going to go up there. This is going to sound probably ghastly. Let's see what we get though. I like ghastly. Oh, that's terrible. Let's see what happens. So, based on the way that this sound is being triggered, we can hear it's kind of happening every other step on here. So we've got it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We can kind of hear the sound doing exactly as the image describes. So it's the first bit is going down, the next one's going up. It's kind of difficult to hear, but it's tracking like that. So what we're going to do is slow it down by half and give each of these their own little... Nice. I'm going to put that one up there actually. Go down. That's nice, isn't it? And because it's difficult to, there isn't any way that we've implemented to easily hit pitches on the way up. So you just have to wobble around and see what fun you can have. And I like that because you don't always want to be totally musical. Sometimes you just want to be absolutely mental. Ooh. So you can hear this looping mode. And we've got this filter envelope that's running the sort of retriggering of that little sample. So if we bring that down, and I'm gonna let's just change the envelope for the filter. Anything we can do with the level now. I mean, we could do some crazy granular stuff with it, so let's just do that quickly. Put this down to put them edges at 0, and we can hear the volume coming in and out. So let's make this, I don't know, 16 times faster. That's a nice number, isn't it? There we go. And we can hear the impact. I think what I'll finally demonstrate with this little sample thing. Just I need to go through any of these. Yeah, I mean, this because we're in pitch mode. Oh, no, we're in off at the moment because we're just triggering the sample, sort of on the beat. We can speed it up with this. Make our own tempo up, completely free running, or sync it to. Obviously, you can hear synced to the beautiful beat. Wonderful music. Why isn't this in the charts? I don't understand. I don't understand music anymore. So we can lock it as well, so it's kind of constantly synced to the tempo, and all we're doing is kind of opening the notes into the breakpoint rather than re-triggering envelopes. You can hear it's all kind of running in beautiful togetherness, wonderful togetherness. Just play a minor chord with crazy notes. So yeah, that's the sample looping modes and kind of how we can muck around with that. It's one other thing I can show you. Some of the patches I've done for this are kind of kicks landing on the beat and other stuff going on in the synth side. So it's kind of easy to do that as well. Let's just stop that beat there. Put this in a retrigger mode. Loop that. Oh, hold on. Which mode do we want to loop with? Let's do... Yeah, let's use the pitch mode, because we can basically figure out which one of these we want to have as the kind of looping instigator. So I'm just going to get a drum, just a kick, just get a simple kick. Let's turn that off. I'm also, there we go. Let's turn off the sample key tracking. So I'm pressing any note now, and it's just the same kick sound. And I'm going to hold a note down, and we can hear it looping. We can see it looping. We can see why it might be looping. So I'm going to increase that to 4, I think. 4 times. Yeah, I want it to cycle like a house beat. In fact, let's just make it mono as well, so that nothing overlaps. So that's a kick going. Let's see what we want over here. I'm going to loop this because I want it to. I could use the filter or the level to do the kind of bass rhythm. So I'm going to use the level for the moment. And we can do it like this. Let's use snapping to find these moments. So it bangs, bang on. So maybe we want to do this. Let's just snap these to position. They were quite close, weren't they? Thought I'd put these on. Just close. And this is how you do a basic, like, using two noises interleaving with each other. So we can say, if we wanted, make this. And obviously, if we halve that, make that go half as fast as the tempo, and then I'm going to stick that to 0.5 because everyone loves half key tracked speed FM oscillator. And now you can hear it. Now you can hear what's going on there. And that's how you use both sides in looping mode to get automatic music. Yeah, there you go. I think I've covered all the looping modes here. This is a rather uninteresting bit of music to end on, isn't it? That's a shame. Let's make it more interesting. How are we going to do that? I'm going to go... Let's put some other little... Oh, there, yeah. People will be dancing in the aisles to this. I can see it now. So yeah, I think that covers the looping modes. I hope that gave you some ideas to make your cool noises with, and a little bit of an insight as to some of the quirks and features of Buzzone. Have fun. Thanks for coming. Rave on. It's a good rave. I like this rave. It's good. Have a good day. Goodbye. There we go. That's the one.